There is a place in my heart. I find the truth. I find me in you. A truth beyond what you may see now. When we are one, even more good about. No matter who you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome to. You are welcome here. Even wise, allowing them go. Embrace and let go. Trust the flow. There's a freedom in love when you follow your heart. Together we are stronger than we could ever be apart. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. When we unite. We unite.
All right, welcome everybody to this Sunday Fun Day. How y'all doing? Oh boy, I didn't feel it. I'm sorry. I really didn't. You know, y'all know that I'm a bit of an energy person, so I kind of need y'all to a second shot. Okay, all right, let me go. What? Hold up. Welcome everybody to this Sunday Fun Day. How do y'all doing? Are we all grateful to be alive today? Thank you. I felt it that time. Okay. Today is a wonderful day because we are doing spiritual practice today. As the first Sunday, we try to encourage people to get into the tactile part that is what we do here at Center for Spiritual Living. So, welcome to those online. Welcome as well to our online community that is slowly developing. So if you have been online, please It's quickly developing. That's right, quickly developing. Thank you, Norma. If you have been online, please join that community whenever you can. Like, share, subscribe, send it on out. Share it with your friends and family so they know what you're up to. It's very difficult to explain this teaching to some people, so it's nice for them to kind of see the center at work and be able to say, oh, that's what it is. So it's very lovely. Here at Center for Spiritual Living, we have a mission that we embody and share truth principles and spiritual practices, like today, that empower us to awaken to the power and presence that lies within and all around us so that we may facilitate spiritual healing and the elevation of our individual and collective consciousness. And spiritual healing for me as a nurse, it starts with the spirit first, the itty bitty perfection that is sitting inside there, looking out through your eyes, going, hello. Every time I hug you, I think of that beautiful perfection there. Ah, it is not, I know. Hold on one second. Here we go. And now I'm awake. Our vision is that we are a thriving new thought community dedicated to spiritual growth and practice. It's always growing, right? As long as you're alive, you're always growing. Sacred activism and the transformative love that reveals our interconnectedness and oneness. And when we talk about sacred activism, we're talking about the intersection of consciousness and action. So I know I am God, and now I'm going to step forward and be God in the world. It is a place where prayer and service activate love, and spiritual principles, who you are, becomes who you are every day, how you walk in the world, live practice. Sacred activism is how we show up as a beneficial presence in the world. So no matter how prickly the world is, you can be a place of softness for someone. And we all know that the world can be prickly sometimes, right? Yeah. We have some values. If this rings true for you, I invite you to either say it in your heart or say it out loud, or you just say it with me. Wholeness of spirit, spiritual and personal growth, collaborative, synergistic community, abundance and prosperity, love and compassion, appreciation and gratitude, peace and balance, power of freedom, diversity and inclusion, generosity. And thank you so much for regrounded that. We chose them together as a community, so it's nice to just revisit that every time, just to remind you of why we come together. So when the values line up, I can hang, man. I can really hang. So today we are stepping into spiritual practice and the power of release, clearing space for spirit. I love that. Reverend Cindy Grimes, our inspirator, is going to be showing us ways that we can tap into that which is to get your mind. We're going to get into the neuroplasticity of our little brains here, make it nice and spongy and learn new things and ways to clear it. Because if it doesn't clear, where does it end up? In the body. It shows up in a manifestation that is your body. And that's when this ease and disorder shows up. So here we are doing something about it. So thank you so much, Reverend Cindy Grimes, everybody.
Thank you, Donna. Am I on? Yeah? Great, great. Did you tell people who you are? Because I didn't hear that part.
So I'm also a budding inspirator, but I'm also an inspirator in another modality, which is Alliance of Divine Love. As a minister, have been held in this community by Reverend Cindy in CSL, and I became a practitioner of this teaching. So I live this practice, I sit in this practice. When others come to me, that's my first tool bag that I reach for. So I just, I hold myself to that. And if y'all don't see me doing it, just say, hello. And you ain't doing it. But that is a part of it. So we come here, we provide these tools and practices so that when you're out there, you have something in your arsenal other than the things we've been conditioned to. So thank you.
Thanks, Donna. And that's our other practitioner there sitting next to her, Miss Norma. Yes, my sister's from another mistress. Whatever, however you want to say that. So how many of you could stand to let go of some baggage, some burdens? Anybody else? I mean, every day, and I still do read the news. I don't watch it, but I read it. And I have to find a way to shake that stuff off. I don't know about any of you. but I've been practicing a lot, and we teach what we need to learn. And it seems like there's a whole lot of need these days to be able to shake that stuff off and, come back to the truth of who we are. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I've got 3 different processes that we're going to do. So we'll do a little, teaching piece up front, which I think is going to be review, maybe, hopefully, for a lot of you. And if not, that's okay. And then we're going to do some stuff. So y'all excited? You ready? I'm excited. I'm excited too. It's such good stuff. Let me put on my glasses so I can see. So how many of you have heard of the Center for Nonviolent Communication? Excellent, excellent. Yeah, Marshall Rosenberg started that organization years ago. He died in 2015. But this is where I get most of my, like, the practical peace building kind of stuff that I teach. A lot of it came from this Center for Nonviolent Communication. And I was looking for different quotes, how to kind of kick off this conversation. And this one kind of spoke to me in terms of what we're talking about releasing and learning how to let go of things in ways that are not destructive of ourselves or anybody else. And so he said this, right? We are dangerous when we're not conscious of our own responsibility for how we behave, how we think, and how we feel. And if you see what is happening all around us, you can see how true that is, that there are a lot of wounded people in this world. And they don't know, like they don't know what they're doing with what they're spewing and what they're putting out there. And so we, as our spiritual community in this endeavor to be more conscious beings, don't want to add to that, right? It's just, and it's painful when we're carrying all this excess stuff that we don't need to be carrying. So how do you determine, like the serenity prayer, right? What's mine? What's in my power to deal with, and what's not? What's mine to let go of? And ultimately, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So in the end, we're letting go of all of it, right? So we might as well learn how to do that as we go along. It just makes things so much easier. So, ready to dive on in. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate, right? Many of us, myself included, I'm still like every day shedding and learning new things. And this seems to be a period for me, a time, an era where I'm letting go of a lot of stuff. Can anyone else relate? Clutter, relationships, just stuff that just doesn't serve anymore. And until you make these things conscious, why you're holding on to them, the impact that they're having on you, you will think that this is just life until you let it go and realize, oh, wow, that was just, the way I was looking at it, it was just stuff. It was just a belief. It was poof, it was nothing. So that's what we're going to talk about today. How do we bring this stuff up? How do we make the unconscious conscious so that we can release it? And so we're talking about, the whole month is on releasing, but today I wanted to talk about the foundational thing, which is our emotional state. How do we release emotions, right? How do you let go? And some of us are really easy with it, and some of us are easy to let go of some and not others, right? Like some of us can really hang on to our anger. Anybody relate to that? Is there anybody that hangs on to grief? Yeah, right? Yeah, so some things are easier to let go of than others, but I want to show you a couple of processes that's going to make it easier to let go of all of it. So emotion is energy in motion. If you think about it, it's energy in motion. It's a feel, kind of comes across you and it stays for a little bit and it leaves if you let it. It is just energy in motion. Where we get in trouble is when we don't allow it motion. When we put up the hands like, I'm not going to feel that. I'm not going to deal with that, right? Or you let it come in and it stays there and it gets stuck and it starts to run your show, right? So this chart, I think probably a lot of you have seen this before from David Hawkins. Y'all remember this? If you've been coming for a while, you have seen it. So this comes from a book called Power versus Force. And what David Hawkins did, and he's written many different books, this chart alone, I think, there's a whole book in this thing. So I'm just showing you kind of the overview of it. But what he did here was show all these different emotional states. And the ones at the bottom, you know, are the really low kind of vibrating frequencies. And he's an MD as well. He was an MD as well as a PhD, right? So there is, you know, some science behind this. Now, different people interpret it differently. I don't get super hung up on whether it's called an emotion or a feeling. We're going to break that down too. But if you look at it, what he's saying is that the very worst feeling, emotion that there is shame. Is shame. And I've shared this with, I don't know how many people now, thousands of people probably. And I always ask the audience, you know, is there anything that feels worse than shame? And I don't think anyone has ever named anything. Right. So shame is the thing that's at the bottom. And then luckily we get to move up from there. Okay. So we move from shame to guilt. And the difference between shame and guilt is that guilt is I did something wrong, whereas shame is I am wrong, I am broken, I'm bad. Right. So you separate the deed from the doer. So shame is that like you're embodying the thing, where guilt is like, oh, I messed up. Okay. And then you move up to apathy and grief, fear. Hawkins said that even societies, countries, cultures vibrate at these different levels. And some of us come into a family that's, let's say they're hanging out in that space between, you know, grief and fear and never really moving out of that state. Like that's kind of where they live. And I would say that we, right now as a country, maybe the world, is somewhere in that fear, desire, anger, like that's where we are vibrating collectively right now, I think. You know, and then you can move up, you know, to pride, which is a good thing. Now, the other thing I want to say about this is while those feelings, those emotions might feel bad, they're part of our human journey. And they're not bad in and of themselves. Our emotions are here to give us information, right? Are you moving in the direction that you want to go? So pride is a fine thing, but it's not the best. You know, it's not the best. We can move up from pride into other things. And the place where we're moving, see, he's got power at the top and force at the bottom, that those emotions that are underneath courage are of a little bit lower vibration. You know, they're kind of lower vibrating. And where you tip into the really good stuff is the point of courage. Right? It takes courage for so many things that we're about as human beings. But all the good stuff is on the other side of your comfort zone. Can y'all relate to that? Yeah. Another thing to notice, again, it's just like an upward movement of energy. So if you've been in a space of shame, perhaps around things that you've done or things that were done to you, and then you're now feeling anger, you know, like, wait a minute, that wasn't me, that wasn't my fault. You're moving into anger. That is an upward move. And that's a good thing, right? You want to be able to move. Sometimes it's not that you're too sad or that you're depressed, it's that you have not allowed yourself to feel your anger, right? And that moves you up. Again, you don't want to get stuck there, because if you keep your hand on that fire, you're going to get burnt, right? It can warm you up or it can burn you. So you don't want to stay in any of these things. In fact, we're going to practice letting go of all of it, not just the stuff that doesn't feel good, but the stuff that feels good. Even when you're on the top there, you're in the courage and you're in the, God bless you, love and joy. We can release that too, because guess what? There's more underneath it, right? You let it go and there's more that bubbles up. So this chart is really great. There's, like I said, a whole book on this thing. I think we have it over in our little bookstore area in our lending library. So you're welcome to check that out if you'd like to dive in a little bit more. But that's just to give you an idea of all these different emotions that we have. And remember, we all have them. We all have them. We are not all necessarily feeling them, because so many of us have been taught that our emotions are not good, you know, so we suppress them. Unfortunately, you can't selectively suppress. If you're saying, I don't let myself feel my anger, you're probably not feeling your joy either, right? We can't selectively numb. So, and y'all stop me at any time if you have questions or whatever. Let this be kind of informal. We've got the mic, so any questions, just raise your hand. So I want to make a distinction. I don't think I've ever done this in here. Distinction between emotions and feelings. They are actually two different things. So emotions is that physiological reaction to something that happens. Emotions are even before your thoughts. There's something that happens in your body, and then your brain makes something up about it and says, so this is an emotion, right? And when you have certain emotions, maybe your stomach gets tight, or your chest gets tight, or sometimes you feel really expansive, right? You feel different things, or you can feel your head getting hot. You ever notice what's happening, as you're having these emotions? So this is an automatic response that your body is having. And it arises from your brain's limbic system, and it's preparing you for something, for some type of action, to do some type of movement or something. Yes, Robert. And say your name.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. My name is Robert. I just found out something a couple of days ago that relates to fear, and I just wanted to share it with everybody. Um, Fear and excitement, your body reacts the same way. And when I heard the lady, I think it was Mel Robbins who said it, it just talk about a light bulb moment, because I thought about it literally the second she said it. It was almost like I had never, ever heard anything like that before. But fear and excitement are the exact same feeling in your body. And I was just so blown away by that. And then I just kind of saw the emotion thing on there and wanted to share that, because I have fear of a certain thing that I've kept with me for decades. Now that I can equate it to excitement, it's completely different now.
There you go. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. You used my example. There you go. Heard it from somebody else. Out of the brain melds, right? Isn't that something though? So what happens? How do you feel fear in your body?
It's for me, it starts in the gut.
Mm-hmm.
We have an online presence and they cannot hear you. Hold on.
So for me, it's in my gut. Ever since I was a teenager, whenever I'm about to get scolded, I'm about to do something wrong on a sports team, I'm about to do something in the classroom, anything like that, I felt it in my gut. So my fear has always been in my core. So when I was listening to the lady describe excitement, I'm like, where do I feel excited at when I see my wife, or I'm about to do something that I enjoy doing? It's in my core.
There you
So
go.
it happens in the same place. I just have to channel my brain to remember that you're just excited. You're not scared.
That's it. You just reinterpret it. There you go. So it's
Can I
Yeah,
add
yeah,
something
go
to
ahead.
that? So, for those of you who work in the chakras and Reiki people, that's that solar plex personal power area. So when your personal power is going to be challenged, or you felt like it was taken, or I'm going to come in and dive in and do something amazing and create something, it shows up between that area right there. It's where your sacral is for your creativity and your personal power. So you're grabbing the bull by the horns, if you will.
yeah. It's such a great realization, right?
Hi, once again, my name's Robert. Welcome online. I saw something years ago when I was watching TV, and they were talking about survival. And when you're, out in the wilderness and you're, at pretty much at death's door, you think something's going on, you always hold on to your stomach like that. So it just reminded me of that. Even when you're in survival mode, people tend to gravitate towards their core to stay warm, I think, and to, secure their body.
Yeah. And there is another kind of nervous system in your stomach. It has its own, in your abdominal area, right? So when you say you have a gut feeling or a gut instinct, there's a reason. It's not just in your brain. It's happening in your body, and your heart has one as well. And if you're interested, check out it was a month ago when we did a piece on heart math that was just phenomenal with Pam Deese. So emotions are instinctive, they're body-based, and they're short-lived. Okay, so anxiety, if you allow yourself to feel any of these feelings and just let them be and feel them, that anxiety that sometimes can linger for people for hours, days, whatever, if you really just let yourself dive into it, the anxiety itself can be gone in 2 minutes. but it's the other stuff that we add to it. Like we stretch it out. That's in the next column of feelings. So example of emotions: fear, anger, joy, sadness, disgust, surprise, etc., etc. And then the function is to signal the needs, and what's missing, what's needed, what does my body need, what does my heart need, what, right? It's always giving you some kind of a signal. Your emotions are telling you something. So where they are distinct, where feelings are distinct, is that the feelings are the awareness and the interpretation of the emotion, which is what Robert just said. Your body does something, and then your brain, your mind is interpreting what that sensation is, and it's telling you something. And that's where the feeling comes in, right? So it is shaped by your memory, by your beliefs, by your culture, all of those things, right? So the emotion happens or the sensation happens, and your mind is interpreting what it is and what it means to you, right? All of this stuff is just, if you think about it, right? It's like it's all in your head. It's not an actual thing. It's not a reality. It is our reality, and it feels very real, but it is a perception. So feelings are mind-based, and they can last way longer than the emotions, especially when we get in loops, like when we're used to over and over again. So examples: instead of fear, we're calling it anxiety. Anger becomes resentment, right? Got it? Yeah, and then we have love, gratitude, contentment. And then the function is to provide meaning, self-awareness, and then to guide our conscious choices. Remember, the thing happens, you have the feeling, and then if you take time to actually sit with it and be conscious about it instead of reacting, you can make a different choice in that space, right? In that space between what happens and what you do about it. There's always a space. It's just some of us are so used to reacting, we don't realize that we can take the space. But that's why we do spiritual practices, right? That's why we do breathing exercise and we meditate and all of that. So you can expand that space between what happens and what you do about it. Make sense? Cool, cool. Oh, I missed one. All right, so emotions versus feelings. So emotions happen to us, feelings happen through us. And by observing and naming our feelings, we gain the power to identify the message that our emotions are giving us and then transform that energy into choice. What are we going to do with that information? Right? You need that? Oh, hang on. I'm watching you take pictures. Go ahead. Go ahead, Cliff. Yep, yep. And if y'all ever want this, just reach out to me. I'm glad to send you the PowerPoints. So do you all remember seeing this? Anybody seen this one before? Yeah, because I've shown this a few times, right? The iceberg of human complexity. So you know that what you see at the tip of the iceberg, just the outside, right, is about what percentage? Yeah, like 10, right? 10, maybe 15%. Underneath the behavior is all this other stuff, is the needs met and unmet. It's the feelings that go with that. And it's our emotions. It's how we're interpreting those events that are happening. All we see is the behavior. We don't know anything about what's going on underneath that. Sometimes even for ourselves. You definitely don't know it for anybody else. Right? But a lot of us don't even know for ourselves what the heck is like. Why am I doing this? Why do I keep, dating the same kind of person? Why do I keep eating the junk that I know is not good for me? Like, why do I do these things? Anybody else ever? Yeah, right? Like you wonder. So this is where we're helping the unconscious become conscious, right?
Yeah. And you know what I've started doing for
Mhm.
myself and, letting my clients know is that if you just look at it as a symptom and not look at it as, oh my gosh, this is me, just say, why is this symptom showing up?
Yes.
So whatever it is that your behavior is, say that this is a symptom. Why is this symptom showing up?
Yeah.
And that usually you just have to follow the thread of your body until you get to the source. And once you get to the source, it's like a spigot, you could turn it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be that easy.
But usually it's the why is always like, oh my God, why? And it's like, if it's a symptom, then you start to think of it more like looking at the body, going backwards into the mind, going backwards to the spirit.
Yep.
However long it takes you.
Yeah, and so this also from Marshall Rosenberg, needs drive behavior. And if you've been here before, I know we did a whole thing on needs and feelings, and you can go on their website. Actually, they have a list for free. Just download the PDF of universal needs and feelings. And by universal, it's everybody. It means little kids, means old folks, rich, poor, black, white, straight, gay, whatever. It's universal, right? All human beings have certain needs, everybody. All human beings have these feelings. And the thing is, when your needs are met, you behave one kind of way, right? You feel good, right? When your tummy's full, you've had enough sleep, you're feeling love, like life is great, right? Right? Yeah, we act like that. We act like the baby. She's so yes, everything is wonderful, right? And then when your needs are not met, right? When you're hungry, when you're tired, when somebody's cut you off, whatever thing happens, you behave a different kind of way, right? So needs drive behavior, but the thing that is in the middle there that modulates it is the feelings. So behavior represents our strategies for getting needs met, but our feelings determine which strategies we use. Make sense? Yeah. Okay, great. So, first releasing thing I want to share with you is from this thing called the Sedona method. Are any of you familiar with that? Raise your hand if you've ever heard of the Sedona method. I couldn't even remember when I actually first came across it. I think it was after The Secret first came out. Anybody remember that? Many years ago, The Secret. There were all these different presenters, and I believe one of them was from the Sedona, or it went from one of the speakers in The Secret to the Sedona method. In any case, it's been probably 20 years since I came across this. And I didn't bring the book with me, but I do have it. And it is a method for releasing. The person who came up with this, I think, had been given a terminal diagnosis. And he was an analytical type engineer kind of thing. And he just started working on himself and his own psyche. And he came up with this whole kind of idea for releasing. And he ended up living many, many more years. He went from terminal to like living for years because of the power of being able to let go, releasing the things that did not serve him. He was apparently carrying a lot of stuff, right? Because, as Donna said, when you don't allow this stuff to flow, when you don't allow the energy to move through, it gets stuck and it's going to stay in your body and it's going to show up as different things. It shows up as disease, it shows up as pain. Again, that is why I'm doing the deep dive right now, because I have been dealing myself with some physical stuff, and it's like magic. It is like magic watching it dissipate. The pain in my knees, the pounds that are coming off, the aches, the things that maybe even were getting ready to turn into something that I'm now feeling like, wow, I'm moving easier. I'm feeling better. I'm lighter. I almost feel like I can run. And I've been just letting go of stuff. Okay. So it's an evidence informed process. What else can I tell you about it? Letting go is not about getting rid of your feelings. It's about allowing yourself to feel them and just let them flow on through so that you can move back to peace. Okay. Go ahead.
I like going back to the body part because, again, nurse here. So in just realizing that the letting go part, I think it was Mark that came and talked about release and the language. So you're not releasing, you're actually letting go. It can never come back. You're letting go. So anytime you say that, it really helps. But think about your body. You don't have the same body that you did when you were a baby. You had to let go of those cells. When cells do not die and let go, we now have cancer. If you look at nature, trees let go, grass grows, let go. You know, it's meant to happen. And again, you end up in a hospital if the system doesn't work properly. Now I'm a nurse, I have to go in and get it. Not fun for anyone. So that's why we know that things are not meant to stay. It's meant to move through the form and leave.
Absolutely. Yes. Casey.
I love this topic because it's something that I reflect on a lot in my life. what I love about it is learning about feelings in the now, where they come from. I used to think if I knew the why, the truth would set me free. But I think there's a larger truth here. We don't even have to remember the specifics and the origin to honor that they're still there. And I learned that I didn't realize I buried some of my feelings while they were alive before they communicated, and helped me to understand how important it was. And I've learned this late in life. And I heard a psychiatrist talk about it. She called it a boundary. She says, pause. Pause is a boundary. And when we're in pain, you don't want to pause. I mean, you just want to get rid of it. And especially if the pain is related to well, we didn't learn how to process it. I was told, don't cry. You cry, I'll give you something to cry about.
Hello.
Yeah.
Anybody else hear that one?
Yeah.
Y'all want to cry? All right. Uh-huh.
They were so uncomfortable with their own sadness, they couldn't tolerate our own. And my mother was so kind. Her way of saying it, not threatening me, was a reward. Here, Kathleen, have a cookie. In other words, shut up.
Right.
Go watch TV. Put on a show. But not to communicate.
Exactly.
And that no negativity, because, I think it's all from ignorance. And that's what I love what you're doing with us here, giving us knowledge. I realize it's not the whys, it's the how-tos that really are unbinding. And when it's done with compassion and truth, I think it's the most sacred experience.
Yeah. So many things you said there to unpack, just honoring the emotions that are there. And as you said, so many of us, think of the things that we say to little boys, right? Big boys don't cry. Or as you said, I'll give you something to cry about. Or girls, nice girls don't get angry. Of course. So what do we do with all? We swallow all that stuff. We just keep it down and keep it down. And when you think of a pressure cooker, right? Pressure cooker has all that stuff it goes in. You put the cap on it, close it real tight, right? Turn up the steam. Do you want to take the top off when it's got all that pressure in it? It's going to be dangerous again, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's where triggering comes from.
Yeah.
Well, all of a sudden I get a big old huge emotion.
Right.
I know it's probably not about this person or what's happening now. If it's huge, it's a trigger from something I didn't deal with a long time ago. The seed.
That's right. It's explosive almost because you haven't given it space to cut a little at a time. And if anybody cooks with a pressure cooker, you have to let the steam off a little at a time, and then you can open it safely. But you don't. If you open it all at one time, there's going to be stuff everywhere, right?
I think that's leading to what the thought I was having in self-help groups, and constantly, if you've been in therapy, you hear constantly about boundaries. I say, those damn boundaries are so elusive. Where are they? And but when the psychiatrist said about boundaries being when you pause, she went on to talk about boundaries. They're not really that impervious shield that we sometimes think so solid that nothing can go through to hurt us. It's more impervious, but it is a way of giving us time to think about and choose. And I like the whole concept of movement. I think that's true because when we study physiologically, the cells are always moving. When somebody's dead, there's no movement. But the cell is constantly taking in what it needs, letting out what it doesn't, what it's used. And it also prevents something from coming in that's going to prevent it from doing its purpose, its function for being.
Yeah.
And I think about that in love. We're here to love ourselves first and loving others. And there's so much we have to learn. And again, I can't wait for your book.
Yeah, thank you. You know, when you were talking, I'm thinking of a coffee filter, right? If you think like the filter is like a boundary, it lets in what you want to come through, but it keeps out the other stuff, right? So you get the goodies, but without the stuff. The other, you know, thing that is constantly changed is our breath. You don't like take a breath. This is a really good one. I think I'll just hold on to it for a while. Right? Isn't that crazy? Imagine that. Right? That was a great breath. I'm just like,
Elaine,
mhm.
speaking of the coffee filter and taking it one step further, what we don't use, the earth is replenished by, so no energy is ever wasted.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That reminds me of our last month when we talked about taking all this stuff and turning it into fertilizer, right? So, yeah, coffee grounds, so you great fertilizer. There you go. There you go.
And sometimes it's more like, you know, having a screen on your window.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, hey, we live in Florida, right?
Sure. We want the
Mosquitoes are
breeze
out
to
there.
come
They're
in.
doing their thing. They're being mosquitoing. They're mosquitoing.
There you go.
And you just put on your little filter and you're like, oh, there you are.
Right, right.
Still get the breeze, but no mosquito.
There you
Same
go.
thing.
So the guiding principles of Sedona, back to Sedona, emotions are energy, right? When we let them in, when we just let them in instead of suppressing them, let them in and let them go. You know, it's real easy, just like breathing. It can be that easy. Awareness itself is healing. What we allow, we can outgrow. And then we get to reclaim the power that we have abdicated to our emotions. So here's the thing, and I can't remember, you're gonna see a short video in a little bit, and it'll just reinforce if he says it too. But that so many of us, well, the way we're raised, part of that, we don't have a lot of emotional awareness, emotional understanding. We say things like, I'm angry, I'm sad. That's not true. That is not true. You are the entity that is feeling anger, right? You are the awareness, you are the consciousness that is feeling sad. You are not sad. You are not angry. You are not your feelings. We're not any of that stuff. And when we say, I am that, or it was the anger that did it, it's like you're giving away your power to this nebulous thing. So, this is a way that we get to reclaim that. Does it make sense? It'll probably make sense a little more as he speaks too. So, awareness is healing, then letting go restores the flow, right? Releasing tension raises our vibration and opens us up for clarity, creativity, peace. Like when you let go of all that stuff, then you can get to like the clarity, the heart of what's important for you. What do you want to say, Erin?
So this is Erin. It was actually kind of going based on like, I know I am sad, I am angry. Like the Irish, they actually have a better way of saying it. They don't say, I am angry or I am sad. It's like sadness is on me.
Yes.
And that's how their language is. Tabron orum. And orum means on me.
Oh, I love that. Wouldn't that be? How different would life be, right? If we spoke like that. Sadness is upon me or anger is on me right now, right? Wow, thank you.
We also tend to own our illnesses.
Yeah.
My arthritis, my cancer,
Yes.
my whatever.
Oh, yeah.
No bad way
Right.
to think of it.
Yes.
It's not yours.
That's right. That's right. The language is so important.
Yeah, you can just say this is an experience. And that's, again, the part of, because when fibromyalgia shows up, I think, oh, I'm experiencing fibromyalgia today, or it's a flare up. What's going on in the body? And once you can look at it as an experience, then you can go to what the body needs. Oh, it's cold outside. Oh, it's about to rain. My body likes to tell me when it's about to rain, things like that. So when it shows up, I say, oh, I'm experiencing. And I have to keep redoing that, going back to that language.
Yeah. Minding what we're speaking, right? What we speak, because our words are creative.
Yeah. And it's not true. So you've been lying to yourself the entire time. And it's like hearing the same lie over and over and over again. It's not true. You are not that. You're experiencing that in that moment.
this is very stimulating because for years I was more contemplative. I would just dissect words and because I thought that was looking for the truth, whether it be in science or religion. And in the recent years, metaphysically being exposed to energy, I mean, I understood that words were conduits that carried energy. And I learned that the words that follow my I am are the ones that empower and disempower us the most. But I marvel how limitless God is, that energy in and of itself, without any thought, in that moment is just as healing as, dissecting it and surgically removing what doesn't really make you happy anymore. And there's just so many ways of becoming whole.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, does anybody ever watch Everybody Loves Raymond? Right? That there was an episode where I can't remember the wife's name, but she would put on sad movies just so she could cry. And he thought there was something wrong. It's like, no, that's just what I need to do. And sometimes you just need a good cry. Sometimes you just need to hit something. Sometimes you just need to pound the pavement or drums
Pound
and
it
get it
out.
out, right?
Get it out, pound it out. And it's moving that energy with intention and knowing that, hey, if I cry, the cortisol level in my body is going to go down. It's going to either come out or implode.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to invite heart disease here. So I'm going to cry. It's going to come out. That's just knowing it needs to flow through.
But responsibly, right? We do it responsibly. So that's part of what we teach in our practices. So these are like the benefits. We're talking benefits of this stuff, of being able to release and practicing it. You might not be great at it now, but just like anything else that you practice, you can get better at it and it'll get faster for you. So there is emotional
Create
well-being.
a new highway.
Yes, creating new
It'll create a new
neural
highway in your brain,
pathways.
newer pathways in your brain. So that's why spiritual practice every day is important, because when life decides to life, and it will, you cannot stop it. You have different things in your arsenal that you go to, like your little primal self will reach to this basket instead of that, which is your old conditioning and old belief systems.
That's right.
So that's why you practice, even when it's not happening. Practice, because when it shows up, boom, I know exactly what to do. It's training, kind of like first responders, right? They're not always in the fire, but when the fire shows up, they're ready.
Sure. Yeah. Well, so talking about
Repeat
Go
the
ahead.
question, please.
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to know what you meant, Cindy, by responsibly.
Sure. So we all get angry, right? And sometimes I release my anger responsibly and sometimes I don't. So responsibly could be just going out and taking a jog, or writing out whatever things I want to say on a piece of paper and getting rid of it, burning it, just getting it out of my system instead of putting it on Facebook or blasting somebody, right? Or even practicing the pause. Yes, so you still want to move it through, but not do it in a way where there's like collateral damage. That's what I mean. Does that make sense? Okay. So there's emotional well-being that can come from these processes. Obviously, we've talked about anger and fear, anxiety, that sort of thing. You can have freedom from long-standing emotional challenges. Like today, we're going to do a process. I wouldn't encourage you to start with your deepest, darkest hurt today, okay? Do that after you have some practice. Do it when you're at home, you've had a little time with this. Then maybe tackle that, right? But we can let go of the aggravations, right? The issues with your neighbors or, the bill you weren't expecting or whatever that was, that kind of got you riled up. But it can very absolutely. And as I shared with you the story of the guy who started this process that went from being terminal diagnosis to being like, okay, right? Amazing. Can build emotional resilience, self-acceptance, and self-confidence, and enhances your capacity to tap into your own courage. Emotional well-being. Then we have mental clarity and focus, right? So dropping impulsive, addictive, self-sabotaging behaviors. Anybody have any of those, right? Like we were talking about? Yeah, those things that you do, you don't know why you do them. Releasing in the moment can allow you to tap into that and also release that. Also release those things. Improving creativity, enhancing your mindfulness, clarity, and present moment awareness. Then we have physical and physiological benefits, which we've talked about already, right? Relieving stress and tension, supporting nervous system regulation. It really is like emotional self-mastery is at the core of so much. You know, I think our emotions are the bridge between our spiritual life and our physical, you know, well-being. So it's super important. And it boosts vitality as your emotional burdens lift. Like I said, when I drop some burdens, you know, I feel like I can just run. And then my body says, you're 61 years old. You don't like running. You don't like running. And then spiritual growth and relationships, deepening your connection with spirit, which is what we said, right? We're clearing the way so that we can connect. We are always connected with spirit. Let me rephrase that. Remember and feel our connection with the divine. Expanding consciousness into love and freedom, improving our compassion and communication, and increasing our inner peace, happiness, and balance. And then I think this came from their website, uncovering and living as a pure self-radiant awareness that you are. Isn't that beautiful? Yes, I love that. So here is Hale Dwoskin, I think is how you say his name, who took over from Mr. Levinson, who started this thing. And so he is the one who runs Sedona right now. And here's a little video. Does everybody have a pen? He's going to have you hold on to a pen and do a little exercise. This is just a 4-minute video. When you're ready, you can hit it. Thanks.
So what do I mean by letting go? I'll demonstrate. Everybody pick up a pen or a pencil, and I'll do the same thing. Have we got a pen and pencil? Good. Pair of glasses? Well, that's fine. Just don't drop them too hard. So, for the sake of this analogy, this pen that I'm holding or that you're holding represents your unwanted emotions and also your beliefs about yourself. All those things that are holding you back. And your hand represents your gut or your awareness. Now take this object and grip it really tightly with your hand. Now, if we did this long enough, it would start to feel really uncomfortable and then really familiar, because this is what we're doing all the time with our emotions. But that's enough gripping. Now open your hand and roll the object around in your hand. Now, is this object attached to your hand? No, obviously not. But if you think about your experience, most of the time it feels like it is attached to us. Our emotions, our beliefs feel like they are us. But every emotion you have, every belief that you have, all the things you're struggling with are as attached to you as this object is attached to your hand. And then it's even in our language. We don't usually say, I feel sad. What do we say? I'm sad. I'm the sadness. And that's our experience. We don't usually say, I feel angry. What do we say? I'm angry. Exactly. But every feeling is as attached to us as this object is attached to our hand. So now close your hand lightly around the object and just let it go. That's what we mean by letting go. It's really that simple. Now, some people, because they add effort to everything, think that letting go is more like this. And yes, there's some letting go there too. But the pen still ended up on the floor either way. Maybe it ended up on the floor a little faster if you efforted at it, but you don't need to do that to let go. So if you find yourself as you're letting go trying to force the release to happen, no, that's not required. It's going to hit the floor anyway. The first way of letting go, of just deciding to, is incredibly simple. And that's part of the reason it's as powerful as it is. So if you notice your mind resisting the simplicity a little bit, saying, oh, come on, you can't just do those simple questions and something is going to change, that's fine. Just experiment and see what happens. The beauty of the Sedona method is you do not need to believe in it in order for it to work. It's not based on belief. In fact, again, as I said earlier, I highly encourage you not to believe it. Just be open to it as a possibility and take it for checking. See what actually works for you. So, the questions that we used for the basic releasing are, could you let it go? Would you? And when? That's it. And could you just means, are you capable of it? If you were able to drop that pen a few moments ago, then I know you can. In fact, even if you were just watching this and didn't do it, if you can imagine dropping a pen, then I know you can let go of feelings. So the next question is, would you let it go? And would you just means, are you willing to? And if you're ever not sure if you're doing this on your own, you can ask yourself, would I rather hold on to this suffering? Or would I rather let go and have my goals? It's really that simple. And so it's just a choice. And the last question is when. When is an invitation to decide to do it now. That's all it is. It's just a decision.
All right, it's just a decision. So we'll do a little practice in dyads. You know what that is? Like pair up with a person sitting next to you. And I'm going to put up the questions so you can see what they are. It's not. There we go. There we go. So the invitation is, and you're going to pair up with a partner. For each of you, just think about something that you would like to change, something that's not how you want it to be, something maybe, maybe a little irritation. It could be an emotional state, something that you just want to practice this releasing thing, okay? So first, notice what you're feeling. Notice the sensation, where it's showing up in your body, right? How it feels, the actual physical sensation of it. And then just let it be there without judging it. Just let it be there. And then your partner is going to ask the 3 questions, or, prompt these questions. Could you let it go? Would you let it go? When? And then allow the release. That's all it is. So instead of could I let it go, you're going to coach your partner, and then they're going to coach you. Okay? Does that make sense? Yeah. So you're just going to be the witness at one point for somebody else's release, and they're going to be the witness for you. And it's not going to be long, maybe like 5 minutes. Okay? So just pair up with somebody. I'm not sure if we have an even. Okay, we got people here. Everybody paired up. Does anyone need a partner? We're good. So decide who's going to go first. Decide who's going to go first, and then just be in the process together for about 2 minutes, and then we'll switch it up. Okay?
Can you say what it is that's like got it?
You can. You can. Or you don't have to. Just whatever the feeling is. Do you want to do it? Are you good? Hey, welcome. You've been before, right? Okay, good to see you. What's your name?
Summer.
Good,
Yeah, I
good.
love that I knew I was home when I found tea here the first time I came. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a tea drinkers.
Oh, it's okay. Did you want to do the thing or?
Yeah, my partner's in the bathroom, so I thought I'd just
Okay,
take a break
all right,
too. So,
cool,
I mean,
all right.
the person next to me seemed like the easiest thing.
Okay, yes, yes, good, awesome, Cindy.
Cindy.
Yes, very good. Nice to meet you, Summer. Did you get to go? All right. Okay, so switch it up. Switch it up. Make sure your partner has an opportunity now. If you haven't switched it up, make sure your partner gets a chance now. All righty, start to wrap up your conversations. I love this. People get so into it that they don't come back.
I'm like, I'm gone now. You're letting go.
All righty, thank you, partners. What's this important little piece of paper here for the next thing we're doing? Right? It's a little piece of paper. Just hang on to this for the next thing we're doing. Hang on to the, oops, sorry. Just a tiny bit. Hold on to this little piece of paper. Don't hold it too tight. This is for our next exercise. All right, ladies back there. You'll need this for the next part. All right. One for you, for him. All right, y'all. How many of you can see using this process for yourselves? Yeah? Yeah, good, 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 good. Was this helpful? Was anyone, I saw a lot of talking, which is great. But you know, emotions are feeling. There's not as much words with them, really. There isn't any words with emotion. It's just feeling. So I think that's a challenge, right? Is to get our thinking part, the logic and reason and words and all of that out of the way of what we're actually feeling. You know, so just keep that in mind as you're going through it, that it really, it's an experience. It's more of a visceral thing. You can't think your way to releasing. Does that make sense? You can think about it, but you're not going to think your way there. You have to feel your way there. Okay? So just a little extra. So that's Sedona. Now we're going to do another thing, just a guided imagery, which I'm sure you have all done that. Everybody's been here before. You know what guided imagery is like. So I'm just going to invite you to sit in your seat and get nice and comfy. And that little slip of paper I gave you is going to come after the guided imagery. Okay? So this is another way that you can practice releasing, is to just, again, feel your way there, you know, as you imagine. So take a nice deep breath in and let it go. See how easy it is to release that breath. Again, breathe in peace. And exhale everything that no longer serves you. And you can close your eyes if that feels good, or you can keep them open and just keep your gaze soft. And with each breath, you feel yourself arriving fully in this moment, knowing that you are safe, you are supported, and you're open. Take another deep breath in. And feel your body relax with the exhale. And know that every time you breathe in, your body relaxes even more. And as your body is relaxing, your mind is free to imagine. So now imagine you're standing on the bank of a beautiful river. Just see it in your mind's eye. See that water moving gently, glistening in the sunlight, inviting you to come closer. You can hear the rhythm of the current, strong, steady, and soothing. You notice now that you're carrying a backpack. And it's heavier than you realized. Each step feels like a struggle. Your shoulders are tight from the weight. As you look inside that backpack, there are stones, big rocks, each one representing something you've been holding on to. Perhaps it's a regret. Maybe it's a fear. Could be a loss or a resentment. You've been carrying these stones for a long time. Way too long. Take a moment to notice the weight of that pack on your shoulders, how it pulls you down, how it slows your steps. And now take another deep, slow breath in. And exhale with the intention to begin releasing. You walk to the edge of the river. The air feels cooler here. And the sound of the water is peaceful and calming. You open your backpack and take out a stone. Feel its weight in your hand. Acknowledge what it represents. You might even whisper, "Thank you for what you've taught me. I no longer need to carry you." Now gently release the stone into the water. Hear it drop beneath the surface with a soft plunk. And watch the ripples expand outward, carrying your attention to just let go. Now continue this process for each stone. Take another one. Feel the weight. Breathe in and let it go. Watch the ripples fade, leaving only clear water and glimpses of sunlight. Now you release the other stones. One at a time. With every release, the backpack gets lighter. Your shoulders relax. Tension dissipates. You're breathing easier. You begin to feel freer, more at peace, more alive. Now set the empty pack down beside the river. Feel the relief as you straighten your back. Roll your shoulders and take in the fresh air. The river is calling you in a wordless invitation. You step into that cool, clear water. The current is steady and sure as it flows around your legs, and it feels wonderful. You take a deep breath and allow your body to lean back into the water. Still breathing, trusting, floating, relaxing into the flow. The river holds you. It carries you effortlessly and tenderly downstream. The sunlight warms your face as the water supports every part of you. You are safe. You are free. You are flowing with life itself. Feel the freedom of the moment. No backpack, no burdens, no struggle. Just the ease of knowing you are carried by something far greater than yourself. This is the grace of letting go. Now take another breath. Feeling gratitude for all that you've released and for the peace now flowing through you. When you're ready, bring your awareness back to this room. Wiggle your fingers and toes and take another deep cleansing breath in. And exhale completely. When you're ready, gently open your eyes, bringing back the calm, the clarity, and the grace of the river of joy that is within you. Now, while you're in this kind of calm, meditative state, I'm going to ask you to take that slip of paper that I gave you. And you're going to write whatever you want to write. Words, symbols, anything for you that symbolizes what it is that you're releasing. You could say it in words. It could be resentment. It could be anger. It could be clutter. It could be whatever you want it to be. Just write those words or write those pictures or symbols on that little piece of paper. And then the invitation, when you're ready, is to bring that slip of paper up here to our altar and put it in the bowl and watch it disappear. Then you can just put it in and swirl it around and watch it go. Just swirl it around. You want to swirl it, let it go. Maybe that's how let it
Float it around?
Can
I
hand it,
was gonna poke her.
hand it back. Gone. Let it go. Let it go. Not, not holding that anymore. Let it go. Let it go. I don't need that anymore. It'll still work. Just let it go.
Right, it just dissolves.
It's gone.
That is pretty cool.
Forever gone.
Gone. It's gone.
I don't even need to swirl it. It's just dissolving slowly on its own, which is as it should.
As it should.
Beautiful.
She's like, as it should.
As
There
it
she
should.
always- As it should.
I know.
And do we do?
I feel somebody lift something, but
No,
stick this in there.
you just stick it in there.
Put it in there. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Gently. Into that water. Then you're gonna take this and say it. Make sure it's not all the way.
Come on, join the others. You have to be alone. We just had a conflict around a drop of the dream. Dream drop.
Can or not.
Tater, tater.
Yeah, it's supposed to stir the pot. Let's go. I don't want to know more.
Say goodbye.
Yeah, it's really quick. Once you let go, it's like,
Once you.
I love how everybody has a smile.
Mm-hmm.
I got you. Yeah.
Come on. Let go.
All the way. Air's fine.
It is magic. Hope y'all were really ready to let this stuff go because there's no way you're getting it back. Got it? No take backs.
Yes, you better flush that down the toilet.
I think. Mm. Mm. Ooh. Yeah.
That's why. Catch us all close when we roll down.
Either one. All right. I did not. I'll do mine last. I'll do mine later. Thank you. All right. All right. All right, everyone. All right. Anybody feeling a little lighter? Yeah. Yeah. Good, good. All righty. So this is just kind of the wrap up, right? Remember, your feelings are just feelings. They're just energy, right? It's just vibration. They're information. They're not facts, and they're not who you are. So practice letting them go so that you can come back to that peace, to the essence, to the beauty, to the truth, to the strength that is who you are, right? Beyond all the feelings, beyond all the expectations, beyond the beliefs and cares of the world.
And even when you're doing that, because sometimes we feel like it's me that has to do this thing, just know that if you had a scratch, your body's going to heal without you doing a whole bunch of stuff. You just have to create the environment for it to be healed.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing inside. So when the stuff shows up, you say, oh, there's something that already exists as the mechanism for homeostasis. Homeostasis is the truth of your body. It will go back to that. So you just have to create the space for healing, the environment, which means get the information, go, hey, what are you trying to tell me? Oh, that's what you're trying to tell me, and then move through.
There you go. So I thought, I know there's a lot of people here, and we always have the option to pass, but we'll pass the mic, and if anybody wants to say anything in way of closing for this, a takeaway or whatever it is that you're, I don't know what you want to say, but we'll just pass it on, and you can always pass.
Well, this is Donna, and I'm just so grateful that we get a chance to tap into indigenous cultures and practices like this one, to bring that to the forefront of what we do. So thank you so much to Reverend Cindy for honoring that.
I'm Norma, and this is just a reminder for me that what we do, everything we do, that's why they're called spiritual practices, because we need to daily keep practicing these things so that, like Donna said earlier, when you need that tool, boom, boom, it's there, because you've been practicing it.
We brush our teeth every day, right? Brush your teeth, take a shower, let it go.
Thank you. This reminds me of the same feeling I had when I was a kid and left confession. Forgive me, Father. I disobeyed my mother and father. It was such a relief. It really felt great. Thank you.
Good.
I loved how we were talking about the feelings not being me. We are not our feelings. It's so important to remember who I am. Part of my personal spiritual practices, reminding myself every day, I am not my thoughts, my emotions, or my body. They are instruments of the soul. And together they're like a team of horses. And I need to be the master of the horses, because when, emotions, body, they can all start running different ways. But yeah, we need to keep that in mind. But that's so important. I love that we talked about that. It's really hard it's hard to grasp, especially when you're in the middle of an emotion, to, pull out of that cloud of emotions and remember, this is not me, this is an instrument of me. So thank you.
Well, I'm in a book club, and it's, synchronicity. It's just the way it is. And what we've talked about today in the book club, the chapter we're on, is about feelings and your emotions.
About that.
So, thank you.
In the right place at the right time.
I'm Paula. Can you hear me now? Okay. I want who?
Online.
Oh, okay. I truly believe in self-care and focusing myself on, I can't, me and feelings have a definite collision, and then I turn around and sabotage myself because I'll hold on to it for too long. And that's what I've done. My sister's death a year and a half ago, I realized how much I was playing a victim with it. Instead of spiritually growing and stepping forward, I was staying in that space, and it was making me sick. And not, all those mental rules that we apply to ourselves they're horrible. They're damaging. Anyway, I learned a type of meditation in 2016, and I'll just make it real short. And every time I stop caring about me mentally, my soul, everything, I hold on to too many feelings, and I get sick physically. And I've proven to myself over and over again. Every couple years I stop working on myself and I get sick, deathly sick, and I end up in the hospital. Then I have to do it all over again.
Well, we're releasing that today.
Thank you.
Yes.
I enjoyed and took from our practice today. Your name? I'm Maggie.
All right, and I'm Rick, and good reminders that I got to get back to work. So this has been a good place for me today.
I'm Lori, and I just appreciate everything with the different tools that we get to learn.
I'm Jen, and this was a good reminder that I'm pretty good at releasing belief systems, my BS, but feelings, and I kind of forget that you can also release those too, because they're not part of you. So it's an experience, something that you're having, something you can witness and let it go. So thank you for the reminder.
Cliff.
Nobody knows who you are.
He's Robert. Robert. Okay, I'm Cliff. Anyway, I'm grateful because I've been actually working on this for a couple of weeks, but didn't have the language or the kind of a framework for making sense of it. And being here today sort of made sense of the last couple of weeks in a powerful way. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Mercedes, and I think that this practice of letting it go is the only way to have a better life quality. Otherwise, we will drive nuts.
My name is Daniel, and I'm really glad I came today. Thank you.
My name is Linda, and I really got a lot out of this today because I've been feeling so much anger and fear about the things that are going on around us in the world and how can we stop this downward projectile. But I think if we all kind of remember that fear is something that we just don't have to deal with and concentrate on peace and love, that maybe with all of us thinking in the same direction, we can make some real positive changes in the world.
My name's Summer. Yeah, I'm glad I came today. I guess the place the thing I was letting go of was a place. It's a place that I've lived a couple of times in my life, and I always feel like I thrived there. And last time I left, I was like, okay, I can move on, I can say goodbye. And I've been struggling lately, wanting to go back. And I realized today it's not the place, right? It's the feeling. It's feeling connected to nature when I'm there. It's feeling like I'm part of a community. So the letting go is about letting go of it having to be at that specific place, but keeping the sense of that feeling.
I'm Erin, and I'm very glad that I came today for the reinforcement of things that I have learned here in the past and things that I've already known and have continued to try to apply in my life. And while sometimes I need a little practice, other times things just happen at their own speed. And I'm just grateful that there's support systems like this in place.
I'm Elaine, and I practice releasing on a continual basis, if you will. You know, this is part of my practice in my meditations and so on and so forth, because if you expose yourself to any environment, and we all do, we go to town, we go shopping, we drive cars, you know, we're out amongst it. So I practice releasing as part of my meditation practice on a daily basis. That way it doesn't tend to build up, if you will.
Hi, my name's Catherine. I'm new here. I just
First
wanna
time
thank everybody,
visitor.
first of all, for welcoming me so generously. And I don't really have too much to say other than that. I can kind of relate to a little bit of everything everybody has said, and just kind of taking that in. I'm also releasing cycles and poems, and you know, I miss my yard and my nature, but I do really particularly love the community, and I find this already so much more refreshing than where I was. So and just a lot of different cycle endings and new beginnings. So it comes in really in good, perfect timing. So thank you for being here.
Sure. Welcome to our space.
Hi, I'm Christina with a K. I'm a dear friend of mine. We were speaking yesterday, and of all things, it was about letting go. And so this is a big reminder that everything is unfolding in divine order, even when we don't see it. And there was a lot of really good stuff, that reminders that I needed. So that's why I love this place, is that you can come. What better way to spend a Sunday morning than to come in and let go of stuff that's you've been hanging on to and feeling lighter. So thank you.
Got Sam back there.
Hi, I'm Sam. The little angel over there is Amora. That's my daughter. Anyway, today was a very, very amazing release, and it was very, very much needed. And I'm just very thankful. Yeah, that's about it. Just thankful.
Hi, I'm Keith.
I'm her papa, just so everybody knows, and she knows it. I just want to say that I'm grateful for this community, everybody in it, and opportunities like this for so much healing and love. And I'm complete.
I'm Pam. Just want to say I add a lot of the music and movement to release and let go. So that's a big part of me and what's coming up. So.
Oh, yeah.
We'd like to know what the tech team, because they're part of their own little ripple out here.
Hi, I'm David. I really enjoy coming to CSL and hearing everyone's perspective. Today has been very helpful for me. I realize that I hold on to a lot of things, and for me, it's a little scary letting go. I mean, it's almost like trying to let go of a flotation device that you've been holding on to, and I just got to remind myself it's metaphorical water. You're not really going to drown. You know, it's okay.
Hello, my name is Cole. So this has been a great reminder of what I've been practicing recently. And I was looking at the baby over there, and whenever we talk about our inner child, we always think about inner child healing. But if you think about kids, one moment they're upset, next thing you know, they're just like, I'm done. I'm letting go. So I'm like, this is great. Thank you.
I am Rich, and I like the reminder of the letting go. It's something I need to do more of more frequently, instead of carrying stuff around and burying it inside. I need to get it out and release it. So thanks for the reminder.
Beautiful. Thank you, everybody.
And so
I was
all
going
our-
to say thanks to little Amora
Yeah.
for being that example of the baby, right?
Yeah.
Reminding us, like Cole said, of how easy it is to just let it go. Just let it go.
And the reminder to our parents, because I had to remind Sam over there that as Amora is learning her voice and learning how to say mama and dada, you know, she's in this space, this beautiful community, and we get to be a part of that as she's learning. And sometimes the voice gets a bit loud, but we hold that. And for her as the mom, knowing that we're here loving on her and baby, don't shush her. You know, we can always, yeah, we can always make, you know, there are things we can put in place. There are others who may take baby, you know, so she can use her voice and be okay with it. So thank you to everyone who is in this circle, who had to pay a little bit more attention because of, you know, she breaks in and kind of disrupts that thought pattern. All right.
We just make it part of the sacred sounds, right?
It is. It sure is. Yeah.
Great. So time to celebrate our abundance. Thank you all. Thank you all for today. I love this community. I love that there are people that show up that are interested in these same things that I'm interested in and struggling with and teaching myself and relearning and all that good
I
stuff.
had something else I wanted to add for tactile people who learn in a tactile way. When we do First Sundays and do spiritual practice, it's nice to put your hands on it. So one thing that I've used in the past is that that pen that's in your hand, you can use your breath the same way. If you're a tactile person, needs something in the moment to be able to hold on to, okay, this is my poverty consciousness, I'm holding on to it, and now I'm gonna let it go with this breath. So you can use the breath in that way. Just a little FYI. And so now the invitation is celebrating our abundance, which is activating our givingness out so that we may receive. And so I invite you to do the affirmation together. It is the nature of life to give of itself, as it is the tree's nature to bear fruit, and the flower's nature to bloom. It is my nature to share the gifts of my time, talent, and treasure. I participate in the divine flow of life, giving generously and receiving abundantly. I am blessed, and I am a blessing. I am grateful. And so it is. And if you are one who activates this, which is your financial good into this community, once a month, thank you, once a year, thank you, once a lifetime. It doesn't matter. Whatever you give, we would graciously thank you for it. There are multiple ways that you can give, so let it be comfortable for you. You can text. Those of us who love that technology helps us. You can scan the QR code up there for Zelle. If you're online, you can do stars. If you're in a whole nother country, that's okay too, because your givingness is you activating your good. And so we just hold that, knowing that it's always multiplied, pressed down, overflowing on you. And if you have a prayer request, and we always have those prayer request slips, feel free to fill one out, and our leadership team, our prayer warriors, will be on it for you. We have people doing all kinds of wonderful work, not just spiritual mind treatment. We have Reiki masters sending you energy. So if it's something you would love, and if you need to hear from one of us and say, I need to get a response back, then please add that to the prayer request form. Hey, please give me a call. This way we know that we can then come into your space and into your life in that way.
Great. Nice. All right. So what's going on at CSL Ocala? The magazine is available. Let's see what else. The newsletter is out. The newsletter went out. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Alore. We got that done this week. So if you're having any issues receiving it, just let us know so we can get you on the list.
And just a little bit about the newsletter. If you are one that has a business in this area and would like our community to know that you have this specific service, we now have it available so that you can then buy like a little ad spot on the newsletter that goes out to our online community and goes out to our email list. This is just a way. I have a business here, and I feel like I want the health and wellness of my community to be assured. And if I have a service that can be helpful, I want my community to know about it. And that's what the newsletter helps. So all of us who are just putting a blanket of love and hope all over the world, we need to know that we're doing it and know that you're not alone. And it's nice to see those beautiful, friendly faces show up at your business. It's awesome.
For sure. All right. What's going on? Next week is our more traditional Sunday service. I'll be taking the topic and giving you another little spin on it. It won't be this interactive kind of thing, so like today was. Yeah. It's more like regular church. The 1 day a month that we do that. No, not that. All right. Do you want to talk on this, Donna?
The butterfly garden is coming up, y'all. The tea party is coming up. I plan on getting dressed up for this thing, only because I love dressing up, and I am very much a very feminine girl, so I will be floating up in here for this tea party. The grand opening of our butterfly garden. Join us for this magical outdoor moment. October 18th. It's a Saturday from 3 to 5. It's a family-friendly event. We're requesting a $20 love offering, a conscious exchange of energy of $20 to come and just watch the wings take flight. I believe we actually have butterflies.
If we could, if you're interested, if we can pay ahead of time to make sure you do get the butterfly, be able to have that.
So they're going to, for their $20, actually get a butterfly?
Yes, to release. So,
How
so
sweet is
get your
that?
butterflies.
How
So you're
fun
going to
is
be joining,
that?
and as that butterfly is doing its thing, you know that your intention is out there just
How
pollinating the
beautiful.
world. Isn't it wonderful? Yeah, I plan on just loading my butterfly with lots and lots of love.
What a wonderful thing to release.
I plan on being in a ball gown. How about you?
Not doing that.
You don't have to be. There may be hats involved. I'm just saying.
What a great thing to release, as we're talking about release, right? The butterflies.
Yeah. But it's transformation. And to
Yeah.
just know that transformation is that it's not change. You can never go back. Your intention has been released. There's no possible way for you to get it back. And so that's what butterflies remind us. And it's so wonderful to just be in that intention with them.
I think we're going to take this water and put this fertilizer. Let us call it fertilizer. No? So we put it in the butterfly garden? No? Elena's saying no.
No.
Elena's saying no. Where does it need to go?
So it needs
Flush
to go to the sewer system. It needs to go to the sewer system.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Then we
And
will
the
have
practicality-
a sacred ceremony as we flush it down the toilet.
Yes.
How's that?
Yes, and also thinking about the earth and what's good for the earth.
All
ink
right.
is not necessarily good for the earth. So
Okay.
putting the ink that's
Well, there
in
you go.
there down the toilet would be the
So
way to
it
go.
will be a sacred flush. All right.
Sacred flush. Fall Festival is coming up from 3 to 6 on Saturday, October 25th. Holistic vendors, concession, music, photo booth, trunk or treat. If you would like to have a trunk available, right?
Yes, there's a sign up sheet over there, and you can sign up for that, or you can donate candy. Set it up. I got a T-Rex coming.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing the trunk, but I'm also gonna be having some
Great.
a drum circle in the back. We're gonna
sounds
have
like
the drums out
fun.
and just encourage everybody to just pound it out.
It's going to be big fun. Big fun. All right.
If you'd like to vend, there is a barcode, so please go ahead and scan that.
Okay. Fourth Sunday in our Building the Beloved community. How many of you know we have a therapist that rents space here? She's here every day of the week. See, folks didn't even know that. So you're going to get to meet Nikki, and we will talk some more about releasing yet another angle on releasing and grief and that from our resident therapist. How's that? Yeah, yeah. And I think, is that
That's
it?
October 26th at 11.
And then we're just giving you a heads up on November because we have family constellations
More
coming
letting
up
go.
November 1st,
More letting
as well as Amy Steinberg for a concert that evening for Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead.
Isn't this is gonna be Ministar, isn't it?
Oh, that's Ministar.
She's
I'm saying
doing
that they're
Ministar.
here for that weekend. so-
Yeah, so Ministar has been sold out in New York and it's
Mm-hmm.
coming to Ocala.
And we're getting it here.
And we're getting it here. So I'm going to invite everybody to please send this out to your friends, your family. Just know that the caveat is the language is explicit. So just know this, little tiny guys is not a good idea. Okay? So, but you don't want to miss it. It's very electrified. We just saw it in Kansas. It's amazing. She does an awesome job and it's incredible to really sit in that space, but it is for adults.
All right. Volunteer opportunities. Always talk to myself, Norma, Donna, who else? Anybody? Talk to, yes, to Pam if you're interested so we can plug you into the community and with your talents and
No matter what you
where it's
got,
needed.
whatever your time, talent, or treasure is, please just plug it in somewhere, volunteer somewhere. It's nice if you volunteer here, though.
Our baby blessing. I think she's been
Where's the
blessed in
moral
our
going?
space. We bless ourselves too at the same time, our inner
Yeah.
child and all, right? So, we say, yay!
This is when my
We
little
love her.
self gets to get up and dance.
I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. Go ahead, everybody. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine, shine. All right. Shine.
All right,
Then we
everybody.
say, we honor you. We see your light. May it shine on all that you do.
And so it is, and so it is. And give a little bit of love to that inner child too. I honor you. I see our light. May it
Yeah.
shine on all that we do.
Yes,
so
and
it
so it is. And then we will close with our prayer. Ready? The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And so it is, and so it is. Have a fabulous week, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, everybody. Yeah.
And I forgot to tell everybody also that we have slides that you can rent also for before and after. So if it's something that you'd like to do,
That's all.
just let us know
That's
and we'll
all,
get you
folks.
plugged in. Okay? We want to know what y'all are doing out there in the greater community, man. Exciting.
Shout outs, yes.